Have you ever been inside the no-no section of a library before? You know, the section that has you walking over inconspicuously, glancing over your shoulder to make sure no one's watching you? The romance section. The best-selling genre of literature, by far. Now that you're in this section, your eyes might be drawn to It Ends With Us, a best-selling novel of the genre written by Colleen Hoover. The story might draw you in with its typical plot of boy meets girl, they fall in love, conflict, they get together. But in this conflict, he pushes her down a flight of stairs and then emotionally blackmails her into staying with him? Clearly not your typical romance comedy. Colin Hoover brings you in with the idea of a normal plot, but then she brings upon you a deeper and more disturbing topic, one that we as a society don't discuss enough: domestic abuse. She recounts stories she heard from her mother, growing up in an abusive relationship with an abusive father. Colleen Hoover takes this situation that she had, this emotional trauma she was dealt with, and fuels it into writing. Instead of simply wallowing in her own pity, she decides to take the energy she has, the experiences she's gone through, and turn them into writing to make this topic more well known. She had faith in her own abilities to take this to the next level, which brings us to today's prompt of All It Takes is Faith and Trust from Peter Pan, which we can interpret as saying that it's up to us to find our own success, since no one else will do it for us, which we can see in three major ways. First of all, that we need to believe in ourselves. Secondly, it's important for us to push forward no matter what. And finally, that arrogance will be our own downfall. When R. Kelly saying that he wanted to fly, ironically, that was when his career started to crash and burn. But when the Wright brothers said that they wanted to fly, they meant that in a more literal sense. So, they set out to trying to accomplish their dreams of revolutionizing travel, of changing the way we look at distances. But no one at the time of their invention believed in them. People thought they were wasting their lives in pursuit of an impossible goal. Yet the Wright brothers didn't care what others thought of them. They had faith and trust in their own potential. They understood today's quote. They knew that as long as they had faith in their own abilities and pushed forward with that idea in their mind, they could do anything they wanted to. And so, for 10 years, they slaved away in the desert, working day in and day out. They tried to achieve their goal. And as we all know, 10 years later, they did it. Their names are immortalized as the fathers of flight because they never gave up on their dream. They had faith and trust in themselves and their own ability to make their dreams come true. And because of that, they found success. Now, when you want to save the world, when you want to go fight a war, who do you pick to lead you? You want someone that's calm, cool headed, has a lot of experience, has the trust of everyone around him, right? Obviously, not a 15-year-old. So, in Fire Emblem 6, The Binding Blade, when the main character Roy is set out as 50, at the age of 15 to go fight in a war to defend his kingdom, with no army, he is a little underwhelmed. How is he, someone who has no experience in fighting, supposed to lead no one to victory in a battle against a nation so big that he's fighting against them? It might seem impossible, but he doesn't give up. Slowly but surely, he finds people similar to him. He hires mercenaries, finds people who are willing to fight for his cause, and much more in order to make his stand a fighting chance. Roy perseveres and pushes forward nonetheless, despite harsh circumstances around him, because he knows that if he doesn't, everyone he knows will suffer. This moment of desperation forces him to fight forward and find greatness. It's in this moment of desperation that great things happen. And Roy embodies this quote that despite when things might seem impossible, as long as we have faith and trust in ourselves and take the first step forward to find that initiative, there's nothing that we can't do. He shows our interpretation as well that even when it seems dire and no one's there to back you up, as long as you believe in yourself and have faith in yourself, you can find those allies for yourself. You can find the success that you want in life. Even if you're not a fan of a certain sport, there are some names that are just instantly recognizable. For example, no sane person watches track and field, but everyone knows who Usain Bolt is. Gold medalist, world record holder, Temple Run 2 playable character. The guy has a lot to his name. Max Baxter, a fellow runner, was going to be someone at that same level of fame. So then you might be wondering, why haven't I heard his name before? The answer is Max threw it all away. He grew arrogant, he grew cocky, he thought that he was the best runner there was. And because of that, he stopped practicing. He became hostile to his coaches and friends. Due to this hostile attitude, This lack of trust in others. He didn't take initiative forward to become better. He was satisfied with where he was and how he plateaued. Because of that, Max is the opposite to this quote. He shows us what happens if we don't have faith in ourselves and trust others. Max has someone with all the potential in the world but threw it all away due to a lack of effort on his own behalf. Today we examine the quote, "All it takes is faith and trust," from Peter Pan, which we interpret as saying that it's up to us to take initiative in life and find success for ourselves by having faith in ourselves and others. We saw how Roy and we saw the Wright brothers had the ability to take faith in themselves and walk forward. We saw how Max had potential but threw it all away due to a lack of faith in his own abilities at the end. All in all, if Colin Hoover can take a situation that's horrible and turn it into ability to make life easier for other people, then as long as we have faith in ourselves to make a situation better, there's nothing that we can't do in life. Thank you.